All right, and if you recall, why do ions form? Ions form in order to have a full valence shell. What is a valence shell? What is a valence shell? Starts with an O. Outer shell. And if we're on shell number 2, because we have shell number 1 and we have shell number 2, how many is full for our second shell? 8. Okay? So, right now, I'll just hold that for you. Or you can take that. Yeah, there you go. And if you want to give this to Kim, that would be great. How many electrons do we have right now in our outer shell? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes? Do we want 5 or do we want more? More. So we're going to fill in. This guy is going to gain 3 electrons. Okay, so we're going to put in 1 extra right here, 1 extra right here, and 1 extra right here. Okay. And now we can count up and we can say, I have a total of 7 protons, because nitrogen, remember, has the number, atomic number 7, so it has 7 protons, and a nitrogen atom is neutral, so it has 7 electrons. Its net charge is 0, so its symbol is N. And if we wanted to, we could actually show that it has 7 protons, because remember the atomic number goes at the bottom, and we could show that if it has 7 neutrons and 7 protons, what is our mass? The mass is 14. So we could say 14, and then there is no charge. So we don't write anything up there, okay? But once it has gained 3 electrons, there's 2 ways to figure out the charge. The first way is to say, if we gain, that's like adding 3 negative things, right? Each electron is -1. So if we gain 3 negative things, that's just equal to -3, yeah? Or the other way to go about it is to say I have 7 protons, because that doesn't change. But now if I count my electrons, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 electrons. That means I have 7 positive things, and I have 10 negative things. If I have 7 positive and 10 negative, what is the overall charge? -3. So we could then say that we have nitrogen, It still has 7 protons. It still has 7 neutrons, so its mass is still 14. But what is its charge now? -3. We can say 3 minus, or you can say n -3. 3 minus is the grown-up way. The other one is okay. What do we do to the ending of a negative ion? It changes to ide. And what is the name of a negative ion? That's called an anion. Okay, so those are our anions. What type of element makes anions? Go look up nitrogen. What type of element is nitrogen? Yeah, because remember we've got our staircase, right? And nitrogen is to the right of the staircase. And to the right of the staircase, we have our non-metals. And to the left of the staircase, we have our metals, except for, of course, hydrogen, which is a non-metal. Okay. So the type of element is a non-metal. Those are our anions. Now, where do these extra electrons come from? Someone must be giving these electrons to the anions. Well, some atoms have only a few electrons in their valence, their outer shell. If you have 3 electrons, would it be easier to gain 5 to have 8, or would it be easier just to lose 3? Easier to lose 3. So if you have only a few electrons, the valence shell will lose electrons in order to leave the valence shell empty. So here's a sodium atom. Sodium has 11 protons. That's its atomic number. That means it also has 11 electrons. So we can fill that in. Oh, it's already filled in there. 11 protons, 11 electrons. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That fills up our second shell. And so that last electron has to go into the third shell. Would it be easier to lose 1 or gain 7? Easier to lose 1 electron. So now we have this empty valence shell. And there's 2 ways to calculate the charge. If you take away 1 electron, you're taking away -1. What does that equal? +1. So that's one way to figure out the charge. The other way is to say, I still have 11 protons, so that's 11 positive things. But I lost an electron, so now I only have 10 electrons. If I have 11 positive things and 10 negative things, that gives me a +1 charge. Okay? Now, there's 3 ways of writing this. You can write it Na plus means 1 plus. This is the best. Okay? Na1 plus, that's okay. Na plus 1, also okay. All right, so it doesn't matter if you use any one of these three formats, but you need to recognize them all as meaning 1 plus. Yes? Yeah, so if you have F minus, that means -1, okay? And you could write it as F1 minus or F minus 1. This, though, is the best. And by best, I just mean that that's the one that chemists use, okay? But you're in grade 9, so if you use 1 minus or -1, that's totally fine. Same thing, if you have a 2 plus charge, you can write it as 2 plus or +2. This is the best. But the other way is fine also, okay? Now, let's try this magnesium ion. We have how many protons? Oops, 12 protons. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 electrons. What's our net charge? 12 positives, 12 negatives. The overall net charge is 0. And so the symbol is just Mg. I'm going to stop putting in the, atomic number and mass number just for now. I'm just going to put in the charge just to simplify it, okay? Now, because we cannot erase things that are printed on our book, we would have to cross out the electrons that are on the outer shell, and we are going to lose 2 electrons to empty the outer or valence shell. So now instead of having 12 electrons, we only have 10. We have 12 protons, so we have 12 positives, we have 10 negatives, so our net charge is +2. So we now have Mg 2 plus, or Mg +2. And you remember how the anions changed to "ide"? For these ones, there is positive ions, no name change. They are just magnesium. It's a magnesium atom, it's a magnesium ion. No change to the name. What do we call positive ions? Cations. Remember, cats have paws. So cations are positive. Here's aluminum. "13 protons, 14 neutrons." So we have 13 protons, we have 13 electrons, net charge is 0. The symbol is Al. There's no charge because protons and electrons are equal. Protons are still 13, but now we get rid of 3 electrons. So now how many electrons are we left with? Only 10. So our net charge is 3 positives because we've got more positive things than negative things. And the symbol is Al 3 plus. Now, one last thing that I haven't shown you yet. When you have an ion, you put big brackets around it, big square brackets. An ion Bohr model needs big square brackets plus and a charge. Where do you think the charge should go? What corner? Take a guess based on your symbol. Top right. Okay. 3 plus. Does this guy change his name? Do positive ions change their name? No. Aluminum. All right. So I'm going to let you do page 102 and 103 for homework. Now, before you all pack up, stop, look and listen. Draw the neutral atom first, and then either add or take away electrons. Draw the neutral atom first. Then add or take away electrons. Okay? And if you find that's too easy, you can work on the reviews, totally fine. Hi.
Miss Prince.
Mm.
So here I'm putting like I just put the lowercase. It's because it's my handwriting.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
For chemistry, you have to.
I did the same thing here.
Oh yeah, you can take this one. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, sorry, I gave you two. There we go. Hi. What's that? Oh, you want another copy? Yeah. Perfect.